What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Tuesday's 6-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. That was a creative way to do that. That's a lot of like the Darius Smile, or hang on. Who does? I mean, everybody does the
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony starting off the bat, but I always think of D Miles like right off the bat.
This would be the 6th game
Quentin
for
Richardson.
Carmelo.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
as he looks to the sidelines and walks down the.
He does. Or if you're Steph Curry, you just go, and you're gone. Ryan, how you doing tonight?
I don't know. There's a huge late night hammer in that Nets and Brooklyn game for me. Disappointing across the board on FanDuel outside of Whiteside and Middleton and Giannis for me. It was very high on LaMelo Ball and Bobby Portis in that game. I really liked that game overall. I only felt like low on guys I got correct were Cade Cunningham and Middleton, but it is what it is. Hopefully Kyrie Irving can put on amazing Game 6 finals performance like he did against the Warriors in 2016, because I would love those 40-plus real-life points in all my lineups tonight. He's one of my highest-owned players. Yeah,
that game's just getting going, and I got to say, there was a ton of late swapping to be done. We had 2 hours. 2 hours, you had to kind of see where your lineups were, and I had a zillion % Hassan Whiteside on DK. That was good. I had 0% on FanDuel, so I had to figure out exactly what I needed to do there. I had a zillion % of Chris Middleton on FanDuel. I had 0% on DK, so I couldn't get everything merged together the way that I needed to. But it was really a fascinating slate. We'll kind of see how it all pans out. We have mega chalk here. Tried to get on more Kevin Durant on DK to try to make up for it. Got off of more Kyrie Irving, which isn't the easiest thing to do, but I had a zillion roster spots because Portland, everybody's 40% owned, it feels like. Even my boy Ben McLemore from yesterday. We'll see how he pans out without foul trouble, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But we're going to get into this. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're listening to us over on any of the podcast feeds, Google now also, or is it Spotify? It's Spotify that you can give us a 5-star review along with Apple. That is what you want to do. Leave us that 5-star review. I think we might be getting a free roll going because, again, I'm a bad person. I still owe all of you. I didn't forget. I owe you. We're going to get back at it, but we've got a 6th game to talk about. We also have a college football game. We want to catch the end of, Ryan. So you ready to get going, my buddy?
Let's ride.
Let's ride to the top end here on DK. Looking at Steph Curry, he's just eternally overowned, especially now that, that Klay Thompson guy's back. He's 6K. It was always a question of how many minutes is he going to play. He played 20. He was always going to play like 18 to 20. He played the top range of that 20. But that's 20 minutes that you have Klay Thompson chucking alongside Steph Curry. I don't know what these sites are doing. Sure, he still has a ceiling, but 10-7, it's just so hard to play him. It's been so hard to play him for months now, it feels like. But such is life. He'll eventually go for 60 real points, and we're all going to be like, but he also might only score 65 in that game. Fred VanVleet is out of his mind. 9,600 for this dude who just keeps rocking out. Put up another 50 burger, 76. He's now put up 50-plus in 4 of his last 5. That seems good at 9,600. Bradley Beal, 9,500. Zach LaVine, 94 with all the troops back in action. But John Morant, why is he sub 9K? I don't understand. I love John Morant here in this spot. How about you?
Yeah, John Morant has just been absolutely amazing. John Morant and Fred VanVleet, I expect both to get first-time All-Star nominations or appearances this upcoming.
Steph Curry has like 2.5 million of the fan vote, and John Morant only has 600K. We need to just destroy this system. It is so garbage.
Yeah, well, no. I think it's a great system. They do it right, fan vote, and then they have the coach vote, and then the player vote. They do it right.
Fans need to be more educated is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I would love to go to that All-Star game. It's in Atlanta. I do think it'll be a fun weekend out there. But looking at the guards, Steph Curry 10-7 against this Memphis team. It's kind of a little rivalry that they have. Both the teams have spoken about it. Golden State did not like Memphis bounced them out last time out, and Memphis feels like they're riding high to the point where LeBron James had to tell the young guns, y'all need to stop talking shit. I was like, damn. Well, LeBron really came out and let them know.
Hey, when you're 27-14, talk some shit. Just saying.
Yeah. But looking at guard, Brad Beal in an OKC spot is fine, but it's tough for me to do that when John Morant's at $8,900. He grades out to be great. Brandon Ingram, I'm just going down a little bit more. Brandon Ingram has guard and forward eligibility. He's going to be popular just because of having that multi-position eligibility kind of to the max, 8,200 in a Minnesota matchup. I'm about it. Now, these guys grade out as pretty, you can spend up, but I don't think these studs are going to be that heavily owned on a 6-game. I do think there's some solid value in between. Going down the list a bit, I know D'Angelo Russell left that game early the other night. I expect him to play tomorrow in a New Orleans matchup. The game is going to be a good fantasy environment, I believe. So I'm all about going to both a lot of guys in that game. Anthony Edwards, 7,900. I like him quite a bit at that price tag. He just seems to get you mid-30s, and the upside of just like high 40s, low 50s is there for Anthony Edwards. It's kind of an exciting play. Now going down, I believe Pat Beverly will play tomorrow. He's questionable at this moment. So he makes for a fine mid-tier option. It was nice when they were a little bit short-handed. All guys on deck. Pat Beverly's just been playing a ton of minutes. Just a ton of minutes over there. Is fine. Now Lonzo Ball is affordably priced at below 7K. You can definitely take some chances in Detroit matchup. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, $7,600. You got to be very excited in a Washington matchup for SGA. It's another good game environment for both teams. One more guy, Reggie Jackson, sub 6K. That seems a little too cheap for Reggie Jackson with no Paul George, and just there's been shuffling around the starting lineup there. So Reggie Jackson should be able to do. Doesn't need to do a lot to pay up a $5,800 price tag on a 6-game slate.
Wait till we get to the blue site and I read off some Clippers pricing. Embarrassing. It's flat out ridiculous. Just prepare yourself. Let's jump on over there, actually. I don't have a whole lot to add to guard here. It's a 6-gamer, not as value-laden as what it was before. I will say that Clippers-Denver game is on an island. It's 2.5 hours after lock. Maybe we'll get to record this a little bit early tomorrow, Ryan. That would be nifty, but I will let it be known that if you don't have that Clippers starting lineup, you might get stuck with some really weird builds. I got to assume everybody's going to be playing, but you're not going to be able to mix and match out of certain guys in the event that they're not starting. So just be prepared. Looking at FanDuel, Steph Curry, 10-8. John Morant, 9,900. Bradley Beal, 9,500, where you can play him now. He's only shooting guard over there. Fred VanVleet, 9,700. Chris Paul, 8,100. That's like eternally well priced over there. Devin Booker on the other side in shooting guard, 8,500. A lot of like really nice prices there. But as you said, Cade Cunningham here on a back-to-back, down another $100, 6,500. I'm sure that's somebody that you'll highlight. I'll let you talk about him. We've got Getty. His price tag is starting to come down on FanDuel from the 7K it was at. He's at 6,600. A little bit more doable here. Memphis, you don't really know how everything pans out here. We know that now Dylan Brooks is going to be out for quite some time. DeAnthony Melton keeps shooting the ball outrageously well at 6,200. But the conversation for me really starts in the mid-range at Reggie Jackson, 5,500. Clippers, I'm just letting you know, are going to be mega chalk over here. You've got him, Eric Bledsoe, 4,700. Every single Clipper besides Marcus Morris is like below 6K. It's going to be ridiculous. Talk to me about the point guard and shooting guard position on FanDuel.
Yeah, point guard, shooting guard. Highlighting some value there. I mean, Reggie Jackson, Josh Giddey. SGA, Zach LaVine. These guys are pretty darn cheap, and Cade Cunningham is going to stand out. So very good value over here. It seems like a balanced build just looking at the point guard, shooting guard spots right now on FanDuel. Now DeMar DeRozan's 8,200. It's a Detroit matchup where it's okay to get to a couple Bulls. I know throughout the season I haven't been about it, but when you're playing Detroit and when you're pretty much I'm getting like 10 to 15% discount than what you've usually have been all season long, I'm going to be interested. Even a $7,100 Lonzo Ball where he can rack up steals is not too crazy. But outside of that, there are guys who have tournament winning upside in Bradley Beal, 9,500. He's going to be very low on. Devin Booker, Chris Paul. All these guys are going to be very low on for the upside that they contain just because of all the other value that you and I just mentioned. $8,200 Anthony Edwards has shooting guard eligibility. pretty exciting to go there. With all this value, I think you can mix and match to spend up. It wouldn't be too difficult to jam in a $9,900 Morant or a $9,700 Van Vliet. And they're going to be expensive. They're going to be low owned, but what you gain is the upside that they've shown over the past couple of weeks. They have shown 50, 60 point upside. And we know what Steph Curry can do. We don't need to really touch on that at 10-8. He's expensive, but obviously he can drop 60 real life points in a Memphis matchup, which I'm not too concerned about. Maybe they'll throw DeAnthony Melton on him, who's a well above average defender, but Steph Curry is pretty much matchup proof.
He is matchup proof. I mean, Dylan Brooks not there. That definitely brings down the whole unit. If you want to talk about the sum of the parts greater than the whole, or whatever the hell that saying is, I don't really know. The sum of the parts is greater than the sum of the whole. What? Sum of the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. There we go. Found it. I think that's it. Is that correct?
I don't know.
God, I didn't remember. This is ridiculous. This is like my 34 years old, like, I'm getting old moment. Right there you go. I'm trying to remember analogies. There we go. Top end of guard over here on our sponsor, Yahoo. We got Bradley Beal, $42. Steph Curry, $41. John Morant, $40. Fred VanVleet, $40. Pretty expensive for all those guys. And that's where Steph Curry, I would actually roster him as on Yahoo. I really don't have interest at the 10-8 and the 10-7 we have over on DK. If you're making 150, sure, you can sprinkle him in, but I don't really find him necessary at any point right now with Klay Thompson back, with everybody else pretty shooting happy. He's on a good basketball team, just flat out is what it is. Rest of the spots here, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 34, Brandon Ingram, 34. These are all really, really well appropriately priced players over here on Yahoo. I don't see a ton of value until you get to like DeAnthony Melton sitting down there at $17, who played absolutely atrociously is the right way to put it. But they ended up having that smash against the Lakers. They were actually way more than 8. Like that game, it finished like as an 8-point game. They were down like 30 at one point. The Lakers were. The second unit made it look a lot better than what it was. But then I just don't see a ton of value over here on Yahoo. Do you?
Yeah, no real reason to spend down super low. Yeah, you can get a little cute with campaign, but there's no like reason to play any $10 guys here. Reggie Jackson, $17 is another low priced option you can take your chances on. But yeah, this is Steph Curry's island. $41 Steph Curry is way too cheap for him. I mean, he's only $1 more than Van Vliet. Yeah, Klay Thompson's back, but the upside is what you're targeting here. Other guys, Cade Cunningham is $28. Makes a lot of sense there as well. But I mean, these studs are a little too cheap tonight over there on Yahoo. Another guy I was very high on Sunday, was kind of disappointing, was Nikhil Alexander-Walker. And I wouldn't mind going back to him on the other sites as well, but kind of burned me the other day. But I would be willing to take my chances on Nikhil Alexander-Walker yet again. But definitely want to spend up on these point guard, shooting guard eligible guys on Yahoo. I feel like we'll find the value on the other positions.
I agree. I think that is correct. You know what else is correct? The fact that you need to sign up at Yahoo if you haven't yet. This is where you need to be. $10 or more gets you in the door. That rhymed. Do you want some more? I had to get a look from Ryan. That was good. Get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum with $10 or more deposited into your account and playing at any paid entry, the quarter, the dollar, whatever you want to play in over there. They have the best tournaments, bar none, in the industry. You need to be checking these out. Super simple, super easy to be able to navigate that site. The CSV is so easy to use now. I just love playing over at Yahoo. Lowest management fees as well. You will love playing over there too. Plus, massive prize pools, especially with the NFL out. 75K baller, 10K to first. Only 7,100 total entries. You're looking at that being a very, very profitable tournament. Playing that in the long run as opposed to the $15 or something else on DK or the $9 that exists on FanDuel tomorrow. You know why? Because it's 4% less management fee than both of those tournaments. That is rake going back into your pocket. That is good time. So sign up, get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum, but do it through this promotion. If you haven't signed up at Yahoo, definitely be checking that out. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring our lovely little podcast. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Good.
Cool. How are your lineups doing?
Not sure. Ben McLemore is outscoring Anthony Simons right now, so that's tough to gauge on what that will result in the rest of the night.
I hate how popular Ben McLemore got, but people just don't shy away anymore. They see foul trouble, and then it's like, oh, we're going to jam anyway. I jammed. It's fine. Top end of forward over here on DK. Zach Levine, 9,400. DeMar DeRozan, 8,700. Kyle Kuzma, 8,400. I can't roster this guy. And all he does is put up 2020s. And it's like, I don't know what to say anymore. Plus, he's shooting 10 for 19 now with 22 boards. Just to like put the cherry on top of it. It's absolutely absurd how much better he is in a Washington Wizards uniform compared to the Lakers. But I digress. Same thing for our guy underneath it, Brandon Ingram, 8,200. Anthony Edwards, though, 7,900. We're getting interesting. Cade Cunningham, probably going to be tough at 7,800. Over on DK, definitely looking at playing him on FanDuel. But he's got that small forward eligibility. That's kind of nifty now. The guy I want to start the conversation with you is Jaren Jackson Jr. Back-to-back 50 spots in just 29 minutes. This is the dude we've been looking for. This is the cat. And it seems like having John Morant being distributing out there as opposed to having Dylan Brooks being a usage hog is a really, really good thing here for Jaren Jackson. The last two, he is firing. Do we fire on him at 7,100? And he's bound to be popular at that number.
I'm a little hesitant for Jaren Jackson Jr. potentially here, but yeah, he's been absolutely going ham. He's been really good, but man, it's been Desmond Bane has been this 1B to John Morant 1A. I mean, Desmond Bane's been balling. Yeah, Jaren Jackson's fine. I do think it'll be quite heavily owned. I'd rather potentially want to save $400 and go to Marcus Morris, but I have no issues going to Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm just a little hesitant based on the ownership. Love going to Brandon Ingram, 8,200. I think that's pretty solid. No issues if you want to spend it for DeMar DeRozan. Prefer DeRozan to Levine where you're saving $700. Kuzma off of Anthony Edwards, 7,900. I like that quite a bit. And the next tier of guys over here on DK, there's not a bunch that sticks out. I mean, Kyle Anderson, 5K. He's just in a whole bunch of meh. I don't have much interest in going to Kyle Anderson. Jay Crowder, sub 4K, is back from health and safety protocols. I like sub 4K Jay Crowder where you get the 3-point bonus. Trey Lyles been stealing quite a bit of minutes from Isaiah Stewart nowadays. He's 4,900. I don't know. It's very tough to gauge on why he's playing well. That's probably why he's taking those minutes from Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart's not playing that great. But how long is that really going to sustain? I mean, Trey Lyles is pretty much a journeyman now. He has never really cracked the rotation anywhere else. And former lottery pick, obviously there's talent. But $4,900 Trey Lyles will be interesting to target. Josh Hart, $6,300 in a Minnesota matchup. I like going there. He's been playing exceptionally well of late.
Agreed as well. On all counts, it's also Buddy Hield night, it would seem like. Just went hot. 7-1-1-1-1. It's like binary once again in the box score. Minus the 7, of course. Heading over to FanDuel here. Top end is small forward. Kyle Kuzma, 8,800 there. Pascal Siakam, power forward only, 9,800. That is fascinating how expensive he's gotten. Oh, yeah, but he's been playing out of his damn mind, so that's probably why. Plus massive minutes, but 8,800 Kyle Kuzma. I don't even know how to keep this program going. Jaren Jackson, 7K. Marcus Morris, 6,900. Jared Vanderbilt coming off of a slate annihilation in his starting spot, 31 minutes, 59.8 on FanDuel. Lots of guys to pay up for, Ryan. Who are some of your favorites?
So many options to pay up for here, but spending up, I mean, at the forward spot, we didn't find much strong value at the guard spot. We've touched on DeRozan. We've touched on Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram's only small forward eligible here. I like an 8K BI. 9,900 Siakam is expensive. Rather save. He's only power forward only, so he's going to be very low owned. I'd rather save the 1,800 and go to Jaren Jackson here. Power forward center. It's going to be quite popular at those price tags. Now, other guys here, we touched on Alexander Walker. He has a small forward eligibility. No Draymond Green. Draymond Green will not pull the ceremonial tip-off and the intentional foul saga like he did for honoring Klay Thompson, which was quite the thing. But
I said that was the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time.
I think this is now where you can take some chances on guys like Otto Porter, Aaron Gordon at 5,100 in a Clippers matchup. No issues doing that. It's a small enough slate size. And these guys have the upside when given the minutes. Aaron Gordon, obviously, kind of the third option on this Denver team, but sometimes he, in a 6-game slate, you were kind of hoping for 30 fantasy points, and you'll be thrilled off of that type of performance from Aaron Gordon.
Yep, that sounds all about perfect. Aaron Gordon, yeah, that's kind of a... He's going to pop one of these days. You got to kind of assume it's coming. Pascal Siakam, $38. DeMar DeRozan, $38. Anthony Edwards, $34. Kyle Kuzma, $33. I'm just listing off numbers. $31. Jaren Jackson. What I'm saying is that everybody's under $40 at the forward position. That makes kind of a punt by default situation. Jared Vanderbilt, 24. Marcus Morris, 23. I bet that garners a little bit of attention. Aaron Gordon, though, down at 17. My dude, Kyle Anderson. He does this randomly, and maybe I just guessed right, and he was sub 5% and whatever else, but he tried to make it really, really interesting the other night on that slate. He was just fantastic on Sunday, but looking at him now, $17, if he's in that starting unit going forward, I don't know, is he going to be popular at that number? I think I like him, and I never like slow-mo, except for Sunday, of course, at low ownership, but talk to me about Yahoo. Anything stick out to you?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to spend up here. I mean, Anthony Edwards, 34. Josh Hart's expensive at 27. But these guys are all, like, if you go mid-tier, it makes a lot of sense just to go to Marcus Morris, 23, kind of the lead dog on this Clippers team. We saw Terrence Mann move to the bench and Amir Coffey start. I don't know if that was a one-game thing. One of those guys I do like. Amir Coffey played really well last time out. I don't know if this is something that's going to be for the foreseeable future, but keep in mind on what's happening there. Nick Batum, also the min, if you're looking for a $10 play. There's solid mid-tier options across the board right now. I mean, there's not much value that's opened up, so keep an eye on that situation on Yahoo. Seems like a spot where we want to spend up. There should be enough like mid-tier value across the board for us to spend up for some of these guys here. Another guy, Jay Crowder, $13 as well.
Yeah, Jay Crowder, 13 back in the mix here for Phoenix. That is just fine by me. The one other piece of value to bring up, played 26 and a half minutes right out of the gate. That's only going to trend up to that, low 30s that we've been accustomed beforehand. And on a site like FanDuel, yeah, he doesn't get the 3-point bonus, but he gets stuff for stocks. So definitely a plus. Let's head to center. We are flying through this one today. Nikola Jokic, $12K. He's really good at basketball. You should try to get some Nikola Jokic in your life if you're making, I don't know, any lineups. Even one. Karl Anthony Towns, $10K. We're looking at that for sure. Pascal Siakam, $9,200. Center only is kind of brutal for him. Nikola Vucevic, $9K. Jonas Valanciunas, somebody said that he was locked the other night, and I laughed. He ended up going for 47. Still wasn't optimal. Just saying center is always stacked. Who are you leaning on the most at the center spot?
Guess what? Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid are not on the same slate, Eric. How does that make you feel?
So beautiful. But you know what? Now it's him and Cat. And I played Cat the other night. Cat smashed over him. That was fun. I don't think I'm going to get the Cat smash over him again, am I?
You might.
Cat was sub 5% on FanDuel, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, Cat was amazing. And it's the Houston front court. I've been targeting them all year long. And it seems like they're super smashing against this Houston front court. They even roll out Tice. Center is stacked here. I have no issues if we can find a way to get a double center lineup, and that's including Vooch, that's including Ayton, even Valanciunas. Obviously, the studs in Jokic and Cat, they're going to be pretty solid. I prefer Jokic. I mean, the ceiling of 80 fantasy points is there, and you can't really pinpoint that to really anyone else on the slate right now. Denver's shorthanded. I don't know if Boogie Cousins is going to be available, but they needed a backup big. They just needed a backup big over there. They didn't have anyone. They were just decimated. Now, some value options here. It's not that necessary. Look, Jared Vanderbilt is now priced up at $6,200. God, that is expensive. I have no real interest in spending down. The only guy I think you can take your chances on if Montrezl Harrell returns, I like at $4,700. The Dan Gafford experience was fun for all of us for some time. But if Montrezl Harrell is there and ready to go in an OKC matchup, I'm about that $4,700 price tag.
He's the only one that I see, period.
Oh, yeah. There's no reason to go anywhere cheaper than that. I mean, you can have some fun with those OKC guys if you want. But no, I like Montrezl Harrell. I would like to, if he were to play, maybe he's coming back from a minutes onto a minutes limit. But Harrell in 20 minutes in OKC matchup, he can put up 30. I have no issues going to Harrell on this size of a slate.
How about a 3K bowl in his debut for the Pistons if he plays tomorrow?
Yeah, so I mean, Pistons Twitter was thrilled by the trade for Bol. Look, I love me some Bol. He's an interesting looking NBA basketball player, but how good is he on the NBA floor? Obviously, there's a reason probably why he fell in the draft. Very talented. The talent's there. He can shoot. He can shoot the lights out of the ball. Now, he's very talented, and I would love for the Pistons just to start that dude. Just roll him out. Just roll him at the 4, trade everyone else, and start him at the 2. I don't care. Cade Cunningham, Bol. Let's go.
He loves to handle the ball. The bubble bowl days were really, really fun. They weren't profitable, but they were really, really fun to watch. I will say that. I don't think there were any smashes in the middle of there, but there were some summer league smashes, I believe. Also, one thing Bol really good at, rolling the dice. Played some craps with him in Vegas once upon a time during the summer league, and it was a lot of fun to have this gigantic human being who knew everything about. And again, I played craps. I know everything there's pretty much to know, but he knew like every in and out bet. He's like saying random things to the, he's like, yo, hi, or like, he's doing the C&Es on the come out roll and doing whatever else. I'm like, oh, this guy is polished. So his dice game, very strong. I will say that. Let's head on over to the center spot. That was an important tidbit.
He's quite the player himself, as he has he's got some drama to his life across the board with the female kind. He's known to be quite the player.
That's what I like to hear. Just kidding. Love you, honey. Let's keep going. Center spot, top end, Nikola Jokic, 11-4. Karl Anthony Towns, 9,700. Nikola Vucevic, 9,100. Jonas Valanciunas, sub 8K. Yeah, you want to play him there. Sub 70, no, exactly 7,300. Sub 7,500, DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, you want to play some of that. Daniel Gafford, nope. Jaren Jackson Jr., play him at power forward. Looking at this position, I mean, it is just come hell or high water. We're going to roster some Nikola Jokic. We're going to roster some Karl Anthony Towns. We're going to roster some J-Val. And we're probably going to move on with our lives. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Yeah, tomorrow's center slate's interesting. Just because we don't have enough value to really be confident and go to guys like Jokic. So each center you'd roster will drastically change the rest of the players in your lineup. I mean, just because you getting that extra $1,700 from Jokic and Cat, you can upgrade elsewhere. Even going down to Valanciunas, I like sub 8K Valanciunas quite a bit. And DeAndre Ayton, $7,300. Pretty strong price tags. They get the hiccups. But I think even Montrezl Harrell at sub 5K is pretty solid if we get word if there's no minutes limit for him.
Oh, you take a recess. Yeah, FanDuel, we're done. We're at NBA Yahoo. Nikola Jokic, 56. Karl Anthony Towns, 41. That is a chasm between those two. And then there's a drop to Vooch at 36. And then there's a drop to 30 with Jonas Valanciunas. So big pricing discrepancy. Be very conscious of that. I'll say, Brandon Clark, $17 center only. Kind of a bummer. You got to roster him at center, but man, you can't say anything about his per minute rates the last two games. Played 16 minutes against the Lakers. Wasn't really needed. As I said, lot bigger spread. Like that game was way out of hand. And then that 8-point deal, don't even look at that. It was a bonkers game. To me, it looks like Brandon Clark has never lost a basketball game in his life, because if you click on his box score, he hasn't played in a game that the Grizzlies have lost since November 26th. Look at that box score. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. November 26th is the last time that Brandon Clark tasted defeat in the NBA. That is bonkers to think about. 26th. Unbelievable when you think about that. So I don't know, just keep betting the money line so long as Brandon Clark's in the lineup, I suppose.
He's been playing well. He's been going to get a lot of minutes because Adams.
The hiccup mute button was so good. Go ahead.
Yeah. I usually don't hit the mute button. I had to there, but yeah, Clark is fine. I prefer to spend up here. There's going to be, and we talked about some guys who are low on, like Jay Crowder, $13. Sorry, cheap priced to jam in our studs here. So it's a 6-game slate. Value is bleak at this moment, but taking a look at these Yahoo pricing, I mean, $41 Cat I like, but I love Valanciunas at $30. I mean, I do like going to Valanciunas there. DeAndre Ayton sub 30. He's coming back, but he has upside to put up 40 plus. A Toronto front court does not scare me whatsoever, and I think he'll be just fine. I don't mind. There's not much cheap guys that I'm super interested in.
Kevon Looney. Finally, we saw some major upside out of him where he played that 30-minute deal, and you're not going to have Draymond Green out there. Hey, I'm just saying he's $12. What do you want me to do? I got to at least say if you want to play a cheap guy, he's my favorite sub $12 guy or $12 or below.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. I mean, Jeremiah Robinson Earl at $10 isn't.
Okay, you just poo-pooed Kevon Looney and you go to J-E. What is that? J-R-E? No, do not do that to me.
Yeah, there's no reason to go down, really, honestly. I mean, the Toronto front court situation, both those guys are $10. They don't play enough minutes. They're kind of a three-man center committee. It's not that exciting.
Jeremiah Robinson Earl, the last guy he cannot be the last guy we mentioned. Give me one more.
Give you one more.
Yeah,
the center position sucks. I mean, outside of, you can maybe go to Zubac, who plays well against a Nikola Jokic potentially matchup. That's going to be super low owned. He's going to need his body. He's just going to hopefully stay out of foul trouble. Just need a body on Jokic, and that's how things are going to go for the Clippers. Is Boogie Cousins available in any player pool?
Yeah, he's available on FanDuel.
He's probably priced up.
He is 4,700.
No need to go there. But
no need to do that whatsoever. But it was
fun to mention Boogie just because if Boogie's on the slate. Everyone wants to boogie, right?
Everybody wants to boogie down. Well, you can't boogie down on DraftKings or our sponsor, Yahoo, so don't do it there because you'd be cheating. Ryan, that's another Slate starter in the book. We got a fourth quarter to go watch of Alabama, Georgia, because once again, we gave up our third quarter just for you because we love you, the listeners. That's what it is. Even Ryan is still not over Michigan laying an absolute egg. I don't think we ever even talked about that on this podcast because it was kind of random timing when, you know what, it's probably a good thing that we don't. Ryan, any final words for the people?
Good luck, everybody. And leave those 5-star reviews. Those go a long way. Hit the like button. And good luck tomorrow.
He's Ryan. He's losing Jim Harbaugh to the NFL. I'm Eric. I'm so happy. I'm a Viking fan, and we are free of the Zimmer. It is a beautiful time. And Spielman. We'll see you guys later.